Greetings, Patriots. Renegade here, or as R as I signed the Facebook post to let you know it was me. I come to you in this short 10-minute video to talk about the coronavirus or COVID-19. I think it is time that I at least address this issue and discuss it. But first, let me say this: never, I repeat, never take my word or anyone else's word about anything you see or hear on the internet. Do your own research and gather as much knowledge as you can so you will have enough data to make an informed decision for you and your family. I'm not going to fearmonger or try to panic anyone. That is the reason I said research for yourself. Let me get right to the point and not beat around the bush like most people do. Let me lay out a few things. You may have seen the tweets that 41020 has placed out saying everything is just fine. Due to national security, he has to say this to keep people calm. If he did not, we could see mass panic and rush on stores and suppliers. We are now looking at a pandemic. As I make this video, we are having continuous flights out of countries that is being hit hard by COVID-19. We should have told Americans to come home and our overseas military personnel to remain at their bases. Maybe if we would have stopped the flights, we might not be talking about this right now. But hindsight is 2020. The CDC is now saying that COVID-19 is not a matter of if it will hit, but when. We are seeing a surge in cases in South Korea, Iran, Iraq, and Italy, and many other countries. As you can see, by the time I am recording this, there are currently 81,134 confirmed cases worldwide, including 2,764 fatalities. The White House is requesting $2.5 billion for this virus to combat it. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said that the request was not enough. Are your elected officials going to play politics with your life on this matter? Now, before you say the flu is deadlier, ask yourself then, why are so many nations closing their borders and quarantining millions? What if I told you that our government cannot handle or deal with this? Would you say that I'm crazy? Well, let's just run with that for a second. Let's just say I am crazy and just full of it. Then there's nothing you need to worry about now, is it? But what if I'm right? What if I'm right even in the tiniest amount? What will you do? In Proverbs 22:3, the prudent sees danger and takes refuge, but the simple keeps going and pay the penalty. Right now, what I'm trying to do is warn you. As a watchman, I think you need to at least be informed. Ezekiel 33:1-6. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coats, and set him for their watchman, if he seeth the sword upon the land, he blows the trumpet and warns the people. Then whoever so heareth the sound of the trumpet, and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. He heard the sound of the trumpet, and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him, but he taketh the warning, shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman sees the sword coming, and does not blow the trumpet, and the people are not warned, and the sword comes and takes any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood I will require at the watchman's hand. I am blowing the trumpet. I am letting you know this is much more serious than it seems. What will you do if it gets bad in the United States or the world? Will you and your family survive being locked in your home for a month? The global markets will suffer. They are already signs of this happening. China has been hiding their numbers each day for the past 2 weeks. China needs to put its workforce back to shipping and making products, or else they're done. China being a communist country will not think about mine or your health. You will be impacted by this, one way or another, mark my word. Something else you need to think about. We are now behind on testing for COVID-19. This is due to faulty COVID-19 test kits. Many of the test kits are bad and showing negative results when there was a positive case. Look at how many times a person was tested when the test came back negative, then only to find out that they were, in fact, positive for the COVID-19. Think about the people who were in quarantine, but they were released. Where did they all go? How many people did they come in contact with? Remember, all it takes is one person to be infected. We know it will be back each season like the flu. That is something we will have to contend with for the rest of our lives. Until there's a vaccine available, and that still looks like it is 3 months away. What if the vaccine does not work like COVID-19 test kits? Will they declare martial law? Do you think we will see major lockdowns like elsewhere in the world? That means no public gatherings. What about the elections if we can't get this under control? What are you going to do about your job? What are you going to do about your power? What are you going to do about food? Don't think you will be fine and that our government will take care of you. It is always and has been your responsibility to take care of you and yours. Just prep, no matter if this blows over or it's just a hype. At least you will be ready for next time. Make sure you're stocked up on food and medication and water. There are many lists on the internet you might want to look at for prepping. That can be in ratio for the size of your family. I will advise you, if you have not been prepping, you better, because there's not much time. Look at the shelves in Italy. That could be what you might face. I want to leave you with what I always like to say at the closing of most of my videos, and that is, remember the 4 B's: your beans, your bullets, your bandages, and your Bible. Your beans are for nourishment. You will need the strength in the challenging times. Your bullets are for protection for you and yours. Your bandages are for covering wounds or patching up a loved one. And finally, your Bible. You will need it in a time of crisis. The Bible will cover the other 3 B's I mentioned above. Pray that this is only going to last for so long. And let's go ahead and say a prayer for anyone who is infected or will be infected in the future. Godspeed, Patriots. Good night.